Hey everybody, Ryan Medora here, and welcome back to another bass lesson. Today we're going to talk a little bit about the blues scale, why it's important, where we can find it on the instrument, all the good things, because it's really something that is crucial for either creating bass lines, playing fills, learning how to solo, and we want to be aware of what it is that we're playing when we're playing a blues scale. So let's dig into it, and if you want to get tab, notation, anything like that, head over to my Patreon page. You can support this channel, get all the goodies to accompany the lessons here, and it's just an overall good time. So let's dig into this. Today we're going to be talking about the blues scale in the key of E. Now, you can play this in any key, but I wanted to go over it in E because that gives us a nice 2-octave range for it. And it's also something that, a lot of the time, if you're playing different grooves or you're taking a solo, anything like that, it's the key of E is something that they throw to us bass players a lot. And it's great because we have this 2-octave range here. So the most important thing is knowing what the blues scale is. And I think a great way to figure it out is by thinking about the minor pentatonic and then adding this bluesy note. So if we think about the minor pentatonic, that's going to be our root note, the minor third, the fourth, the fifth, the flat seventh or minor seventh, and then the octave. So if we want to kind of visualize that in one position, I'm going to start here on the 7th fret with my E here, and I'm going to find my root note, my minor third, my 4th, 5th, flat 7th, and octave. So this is a really easy way to find and play your minor pentatonic, your E minor pentatonic. It's a 4-fret span shape, index, pinky, and then index, ring, index, ring. And again, that's just our E minor pentatonic. There's another great way to play it where instead of playing the root and the minor third here, I'm going to take that minor third and I'm going to put it here on the 5th fret instead. So I'm going to go root, minor third, 4th, 5th, flat 7, octave. And you'll realize that all of the notes that I'm playing are the same except for where I go to place that minor third. But it is going to change my hand position a lot. So I'm kind of going from a 4-fret span shape to a 5-fret span shape where I'm starting with my middle finger now, and I'm reaching up with my index and then going middle pinky, middle pinky. Now, to add the bluesy note, all we're going to do is give ourselves a little sharp 4 or flat 5, depending upon the direction you move in. But it's going to be this chromatic note before scale degree 4 and 5. It's going to add a little dissonance, it's going to add a little bluesiness, and that's what we really want to embrace here. So if I go with my 4-fret span pattern, you can kind of go index, pinky, index, middle for that bluesy note, and then your ring finger. And that gives us the blues scale in that 4-fret span position. In the 5-fret span position, we're going to again start with our middle finger, go to index, and then we're going to play middle ring pinky to get that blue note. Now, this is a great place to play it. It's the higher octave, or I guess in the middle of our fretboard. We have plenty of high octaves over here, but kind of in this sweet spot. We're going to now go and do our lower octave playing down to our open E. And so we're going to have our open E. Our minor third is going to be this G here. And then I'm going to go 4 sharp 4 5, flat 7 octave. So I'm going E, G, A sharp or B flat, B, D, and E. So we can now play a 2-octave E blues scale where we kind of start at this one, go here, all the way up to this high E. Let's work it out. Root, minor third, 4 sharp 4 5, flat 7 octave. And when you're here, you can kind of grab your minor third here, shift positions, 4 sharp 4 5, flat 7 octave, and then we'll play down. So that's that 2-octave E blues scale. Now you can see that my fingering is not totally consistent every time because I'm thinking about where I want to add shifts and where I want to reposition my hand. So you can sometimes play, with that chromatic note going middle, ring, pinky, or you can kind of shift in that moment if you need to. And there are different ways to navigate this. You could also play with your open E, index, and then shift up with your index. That's a cool way too. But the big thing here is that you see what scale degrees we're using, how to build this E blues scale where we really just take that minor pentatonic, added an additional note, and then realize that, this is really helpful for creating funky bass lines as well as adding fills. And having different positions and different fingering patterns for this is really important because that lets you play with articulation. Remember, music is not just the note, it's the way we play the note. It's about the articulation. It's about whether we add a slide or a hammer on or a pull off, anything like that. And so the beauty of being able to play cool sounding lines comes into the way we articulate these notes. So, even something like that, you can hear I'm adding some dead notes, I'm adding some hammer-ons, some cool stuff here, you can add slides, all different kinds of things. And having this blues scale under your fingers will let you play cool fills. And having this 2-octave shape at your disposal is great because you could play your regular bass line in the lower register and then play a fill in the higher register and realize wow, that just made your line sound way more dynamic, way more interesting, and that's a great thing. So if we take this groove and we play that maybe 3 times one way, and then we add fills the next time and we jump up that register. All of a sudden that just became way cooler. It gave a nice shape to our bass line, and we're not doing anything that's crazy rocket science, but we are taking advantage of knowing our instrument, knowing the fretboard, and realizing that, a scale is not just between this note and that note. It's all the ones on the opposite sides. It's any sequence of finding these scale degrees up and down the fretboard. That really is what the scale is. So having different shapes, different patterns, the flexibility to see those on the fretboard is really important. So again, this is a great lesson in just general fretboard knowledge, getting that blues scale under your fingers, knowing that it's really important for fills and just bassline creation, and feeling like you have an understanding of how to build phrases with it. So again, head over to my Patreon page if you want to grab tab, notation, backing tracks, anything like that. And happy practicing, everybody. Keep it groovy.